How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Welcome to the second episode of Don't Buy It, You Don't Need It. This is a series where I pick various products from the store and try to reverse the brainwashing caused by advertising. This is all trying to convince you that you do not really need the product, a sort of unsalesman, if you will. It's squarely targeted at low-income earners shopping at Superstore for unhealthy, overpriced, and products that breaks easily. Whenever I'm at a superstore, I see a lot of people with shopping carts full of unhealthy things and things that they do not need. I have this urge to talk to them, but doing so would be really weird, so this is not something I would do in real life. That's why I'm making this video. Without further ado, let's begin. For almost every single item I list here, you might go, what? This is crazy. You're not buying anything at all then. I personally am not struggling and I'm not buying most of the things in that store. However, people who are struggling, they somehow spend a lot of their money on these items that they do not need at this store. If you notice this weird difference, all I can say is, why are you buying all this garbage? The first thing I like to talk about is disinfecting wipes, which cost about $8 for 2 tubes. In essence, disposable towels that are disinfecting are essentially not needed. For what I do, I just use a cloth and soap and water and clean all the surfaces that I can. Generally, I do not even have to use any kind of disinfecting wipes because I use a cutting board and an area that is separate from anything that I would eat raw. If you do want to get rid of salmonella and other kind of bacteria on surfaces, you can use your own solution of water, soap, and a little bit of bleach. Then through this, I have not personally gotten sick from this method at all. The second thing is paper plates. These have been sold for about $6 for one single pack. What can you do to not buy these plates at all? Well, you can use real plates, or you can use thicker type of plastic plates or metal plates even. If you get into this habit of not buying anything disposable at all, when you walk into the store, you're gonna walk out with a lot less stuff. The third thing I see in the store is salsa, which runs for about $2.70 each bottle. Generally, the stuff in the store is high in salt and also filled with a lot of preservatives. For me, if I really wanted some salsa, I would actually just buy a whole bunch of tomatoes, buy some onion, just make it myself. It's not really that hard. The fourth thing is prepared rice, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen because they essentially add all this liquid to it, and yeah, you're paying much more because they add the liquid to it and it feels a lot heavier. They sell a little pack of this for about $1.80, but if you buy the uncooked rice itself, it's about 10 cents for the equivalent amount. Now, when you buy rice, of course, it takes a little bit longer to cook and you may have to wait 20 minutes or so before you can actually eat it. The idea here is do some pipelining if you actually want to eat some rice fresh. You toss some rice into the rice cooker, you get it started, and then you go and do something else. By the time you come back in 20 minutes and you start cooking something, and then when you end your cooking, the rice is going to be ready. If you get into the habit of this way of preparation, then you don't actually need to buy prepared rice. The fifth thing is shredded cheese. These things are sold at 8 ounces, and this small portion is actually $2.20. The reason I don't buy shredded cheese is because they add cellulose into the mixture so that the little pieces of the shredded cheese will not stick together. Cellulose is an anti-clumping agent and is derived from wood pulp. So would you normally eat wood pulp? I certainly would not. The problem with cellulose derived from wood pulp is that they had to add all these chemicals into this wood pulp to extract the cellulose from the wood. In vegetables, there's naturally occurring cellulose. So cellulose itself, it's not a bad thing. It's that when they process the cellulose from wood pulp, it's not very good for you because there's all this trace amounts of chemicals that you're eating anyway. The sixth item that I see a lot of people buy in their shopping carts is hamburger and hot dog buns. Now, each of these costs about $2 per bag, and the number one reason I do not buy these is because of the added sugar. The refined white sugar that they put into these hamburger and hot dog buns is just as bad as cellulose because they also add chemicals in order to whiten them. The seventh thing that I would not buy is razors from the store, mainly because they are really overpriced compared to what you can get online these days. Ever since I joined this Dollar Shave Club thing, I never buy razors from the store anymore because they just come in the mail at a much lower price. And if you're interested in this, I'll leave my video on that over here. The eighth thing I would not buy from the Superstore is the almond milk, which runs for about $3 per half gallon. If you do your research on this drink, most people buy almond milk because they think it's plant-based and so it must be healthier for you. However, most almond milk out there does not actually contain all that much almonds, and if you actually try to find how much almonds they put in it, you'll find very little information because there's very little almonds in it. Now, if you look in the ingredients, it's likely going to contain these gum things, which gives it its texture. It's not the almonds that actually gives it its texture. If you really want almond milk, you might actually want to make it yourself and it will taste 100 times better. The number 9 thing that you should not buy is cleaning sprays, which runs about $3 per bottle. What I've noticed myself is any kind of cleaning spray is a lot of toxic chemicals in it. Once you spray, you're aerosolizing it, which goes into the atmosphere. And if you're cleaning around this area, you tend to breathe all this in. I've had cleaning sprays where I'm spraying something and I try to not breathe it as much as possible, but still, some of it still gets in. And you can imagine breathing this stuff in is not very good for you. What I do normally is just simply use water. It washes away a lot of stuff already. If that does not work, you can use water and soap. If you need something a bit stronger than that, you can use a solution of water and vinegar. The 10th and final thing that you should not buy from the store is vitamins. People waste a lot of money on vitamins and they run maybe $10 to $20 a bottle. What I've noticed for the most part is that you do not need it. I used to take this vitamin almost daily, these gummy things. And then yes, it does help a little bit, but my metric of knowing how much vitamins I get is just looking at the tip of my fingers here behind the nail. If I'm not getting enough vitamins, I might notice that maybe my lips are starting to peel, or like the top of my fingernail might have a little bit of skin peeling off. However, when I switched over to eating a lot more vegetables instead and a lot more fruits, well, these days I don't take these multivitamins anymore, and this never happened for many years. However, when I was taking multivitamins basically daily, it does not offset the cause of these deficiency in vitamins. I think it's a deficiency in vitamin A that causes this peeling near your fingers. So if you look at the research, it's not that when you take the vitamins you can absorb it all. Even most of the time it's very hard for your body to absorb a piece of vitamin that you take, but it's a lot easier when you take it from natural foods. So for most people who are eating a healthy and balanced diet, you do not need vitamin supplements. Thanks for watching. I hope I shed some light on a lot of these items so that you actually will not buy most of them anymore. Don't forget to give me a like on this video, comment down below. Let me know other items that you think people should not buy. If you're interested in supporting this channel, don't forget to check out my Audible link down in the video description below, where you can get a free audiobook. And if you don't like this audiobook or the service, you can cancel it before the trial period ends. And you do not have to pay a thing, yet you can still keep the audiobook and help benefit this channel. I also have a Patreon over here if you're interested in supporting this channel directly, and I give various perks at various contribution levels. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel over here and click that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get a new notification whenever I upload a brand new video. Thanks for watching.